To another episode of Koze Daily Brew. Today I figured it would be fun if we talked about ways we could save our money. Isn't that fun? Not at all. Okay, money is always a weird, awkward topic, and to be honest, I feel like even at this phase in my life, being 25, it's still one of those weird things that I feel like, I've never fully been taught or learned, and the more research I do into it, the more I'm learning along the way, and this is basically the budget system that has been working for me. I feel like it's an easy breakdown, and it's easy to share, and if you guys end up using it or have ever been interested or just, I guess, wanted to just chill and chat today over coffee, then that's cool too. But long story short, you can basically walk away from today's video making your own budget plan. So here's mine. When it comes to money, I feel like what you get as an income, you can break it down in a multitude of ways. There's a lot of things that we might think we need, there's a lot of things that we might think we want, and there's a lot of things that we usually should be saving for. So how do you account for all of those things while also basically, not going crazy and knowing that you're doing it right? For me, I've created a breakdown and I use the numbers app on my MacBook, and that's basically how I keep my running budget. There's a couple different ways you can do that, and if you guys ever want me to jump into that, I could totally do that too. The whole film screen thing, that would be a totally different style video for me to film, but I can if you guys want to see it. Spinning back to where we are now though, in terms of actually breaking down my monthly income, here's how I do it. So it's going to be harder for me to explain to you because I don't have the visual representation here, but just follow along as best as you can. So when your income comes in, you're going to want to split it automatically 50-50. So the reason why you're going to do that is 50% of your income should go towards what you actually need to survive on a daily basis, right? So you're going to want to try and make at least double what you need to survive. That's a good way you can look at it too, because if you go to break down right now what you actually need to survive and it's more than 50% of what you're making on a monthly basis, then you either need to find a way to shorten or basically a decrease in a lot of ways what you need to survive, or decrease the amount of money you need to survive, or increase the amount of money you have coming in. It's just a general good way to look at things, right? So what do you actually need to survive? The things that would fall into this category are things such as your mortgage or your rent, your utilities, i.e. to run energy throughout your house so that you can shower, so that you can have cold food in the fridge. Then actually, putting food in the fridge, i.e. your groceries, which is one of those areas that if you're looking for a way to decrease the amount of money that you have to spend on a monthly basis to basically live, that's a really good place to start, is with groceries and meal planning. Again, could totally do a separate video on that. And then last but not least would be kind of your overall bills, your car payments, if you have to pay insurance, anything of that kind of sort. So that would go underneath your needs. Calculate all of that and come up with a total, and then see how it basically fits into what you make on a monthly basis. Once you've figured out what your needs are, what your bills are, and everything that you basically have to survive, that should be around 50% of what you make. After that, you have this other 50%, and if it's less than 50%, then you're in the winning category, okay? Because then you can put more towards this second half of what you make, or the second part of the 50-50 split. For you, I guess it wouldn't even be 50-50. Maybe it's 40-60, and if that's the case, again, you're still winning in all increments going backwards. So here's where you put the second half. You're going to want to split that again into two different parts, but not necessarily equal. You're going to want to put 30% towards living on a day-to-day basis and 20% towards your savings. So you're living on a day-to-day basis. This is kind of your lifestyle. These are your wants. These aren't necessarily your needs. The things that would fall into this category are clothing, are gym memberships, Netflix memberships, even Spotify memberships, although I would really like to put that under the needs category because realistically it truly is a need for me. Other things would be dining out or going out for food, social events with friends, if you're saving up to go traveling, any kind of equipment or things that you might need for your hobbies, those all go into your wants. You do not need these things to survive by any means, But obviously it's nice to put some money towards there, because that is where you can usually, I guess, potentially see a lot of like your overall contentment with life increase when you're doing things that you want to do, you know, not just that you need to do. So that is why 30% usually goes around there. In terms of the leftover 20%, this is where you're gonna want to put your savings. This is where you're gonna wanna put your retirement plan. This is where you're gonna wanna basically take your money and invest it somewhere that is going to be smarter for you down the long haul. Future you will be thanking you, and you should be doing about 20% of what you make on a monthly basis every single month. Those things will start to increase with time. Even if you've never done this before, if you start now, even a year from now, you're gonna have taken 20% of what you made in a year and suddenly have it investing in something that is your future. You're basically investing in the future version of you that you spend all this time dreaming about on the sidelines, right? If you have big goals like one day getting married or buying a house, or if you even just have like a rainy day fund for when things just kind of like hit the wall, or you get like a week's vacation and you want to go somewhere with it, that is where this 20% is going to come in handy. Keep a rainy day fund, keep a retirement plan, keep a savings account, or invest your money somewhere. Take that 20% and put it there, because the future you will definitely thank you for it. So that is the general breakdown in terms of how I budget my income, and also an easy way for you to take it and then walk away and see how it fits for you. Of course, you can work around these numbers in a way that makes more sense for you, but I feel like this is a pretty good framework that works for nearly everyone. And depending on what your results ended up being when you actually take your monthly income and break it down 50, 30, 20, you'll be able to see if you maybe need to start, you know, saving more, if you maybe need to start making more, if you need to start decreasing the amount of needs you have in a day, which is pretty much like where I'm at, because even though I have this as my budget plan, it was super interesting for me when I went and sat down to like actually break out a budget this year and saw how much I was putting under the needs category. Yes, that included Spotify and Netflix, to which I then had to push those over to the wants category. Wasn't an easy thing to do, but the faster you get going on this, the better and more thankful you're going to be later on down the road. So yeah, let me know down below. Do you guys use a budget plan? And if so, and if it's different than mine, then tell me what it is, because I want to hear it. And aside from that, I hope you guys enjoyed today's Koze Daily Brew, and I will talk to all of you guys tomorrow morning. Bye guys.